Hey guys, I'm Will, and let's talk about coins. Hey folks, how you doing today? Well, it's that time again. Well, I was going to call this show Coins, but that's kind of slow. I don't much care for that. But up here on the screen that I have, several things going on here. All right, this has become very popular for a lot of people over the years. As you can see up here in the, let me plug in my, is this my mouse working here? Yeah, that's the one I want. Sorry guys. So up here we have where the little arrow pointer is VAM World 2.0, okay? And of course, basically this is the wiki efforts. Sorry, I thought I had something interesting. This is the VAM World of Wiki, the wiki of VAM World, okay? Attribution 101. And let's start from the beginning. What is this actually? What is VAM World? What does VAM stand for? It stands for Van Allen Malice. Van Allen is Leroy Van Allen, okay, by the last name of Malice. We've all spoken about this in the past at one point in time, okay? So what I have here is Attribution 101, okay? See, when Morgan or Peace Dollars, which ones do you like the most, okay? Well, let's go with Morgan since everybody likes Morgans. Well, mostly everybody likes Morgans, but some people call them Morgans. Ah! I mean, here are your contents and what you need to know using what type hubs, reading through the pages, striking and versus double, dies, die cracks, die clashing. The whole spiel is in here. I mean, this is basic as is a VAM Education for Beginners or VEFB archives, okay? See, of course, I was just saying this. You'll read about this part. A comprehensive catalog and encyclopedia of Morgan and Peace Dollars by Leroy Van Allen and George Malice. Okay? Van Allen Malice, that's what VAM stands for, or VAM. Alright? Get there as a side note, to talk about with written, and this was written by, of course, this encyclopedia was written by Leroy and Mr. A. George Malice. Everyone should strongly consider purchasing one of these books. I definitely agree. Okay. Now I'm not going to talk today about how to find a VAM because I'm going to find you one, and I'm using it as an example. Not this time around, but later on. Okay. People, you do want to know this. A lot of these VAMs, okay, for instance, now you're watching me, a lot of these VAMs are hard to find. All right. And there's some VAMs, they're not attributed yet, okay? Meaning they haven't been added to the list that you see up here on the website, which is, off to the side here, as far as, Morgans by date, you have Peace Dollars by date. There's a top 50 and an elite 30 with the Morgan or for the Peace Dollars. And of course, there's a top 100, a hot 50, a hit list 40, a Kimpton 12. And there's ECDs. Elite Clash Dies, okay, or Clash Morgans. An ECD or Super CD is something else. The WoW list, Annex uses the WoW list, okay. We can only, and the clay is 50, and the listed contemporary counterfeits. Now, counterfeits is another lesson that we'll talk about a little bit later, okay. But the bottom line is getting back to what we were just talking about here. As it says, since you're here, you may be wondering, now what? What do I do? How do I read all these pages? How do I know if something is worth noting or just looks cool? Research. Research. You always need to take things one step at a time. To break down a VAM in itself is an art. It's a true art form. There's no doubt in my mind that it's an art form, okay? Let me put me up here in the window here, if I can get it. Move me around a bit. Makes me think about moving my screen. So, they're basically telling the content is a living document and provides these answers and more. This is true. Look at these. Knowing your way around a Morgan dollar, that's important. Let's use an example of what they're saying. Let's put it out there and take what they have to say, and hopefully get an answer with this. And I'm going to bring up a couple things that I really like too as well. Let's see here. Morgans by date. There's that. Some of the more simpler ones to find are out here as this loads up. So, the Liberty Band, where that's at. Just later, before we get started this introduction, there are several areas of the Morgan dollar you should be familiar with. These areas are identified by the most common areas that you will refer to researching on this site. Basically, when you do the research on the site, we're providing information for individuals who are trying to attribute something. The areas are not listed. Okay, these areas, you get what I'm saying. The areas listed are not only areas of interest, just the most commonly used. Okay, when everybody's looking for something in high points in the coins, I always start here. Okay, you see, there's always a little where. The better the strike, the better you'll see. Always has to have that full liberty, of course. That's what I'm looking for. Okay, designer's initials, yes, they're right there. It's always right there. The date where it's set. A lot of people start with the date if they're looking at VAMs. They always seem to start with the date. Okay, scribble zone. There's tons and tons of major hubs. Sorry. See, there's tons of information up here. This is something that everybody should look into. Okay, striking versus doubling. Well, we just did something similar to this, so zip on through here to see if I can't figure it out. Here's a little more harder one to find. Well, it's not really hard. See, it's not really hard to find. Let's put it this way. 1881S, VAM 15, doubled 88, S over S far left. Okay, I can get you the pictures, but as you can see, it's an R3. An R3, what does an R stand? What does R3 stand for? R stands for rarity. And on the VAM scale, the rarity is 1 to 7. 1 to 7, folks. That's it. So, if you're looking for a VAM that is an R5, you're getting kind of up there in the scale out of 7. The ones that you generally look for are 6s and 7s, but there are some common dates or R3s that are pretty neat. I mean, this gives you a whole eye of them. Oh, I'm sorry, boys and girls. Now let me go to my favorite one, or one of my favorite ones, and it's really easy to find. Really, truly easy to find. Okay? Of course, I am known by somebody, the Morgan guy. I don't know why I'm known as the Morgan guy. I'm not just a Morgan guy. All right, so here's one of my more favorite ones right here. And we'll right-click and let this open, and then VAM 9 will... Oh, I didn't want two windows. We'll get back to the other one. I opened another window by accident. Sorry. So the VAM 9's the other one I like to look at. Okay. Let's see if the other window is ready or not. I'm going to close that. I don't want that. Sorry, guys. Just a little mix-up and delay there, of course, as I sit back and do this bit. And, of course, this thing goes as fast as it works. But the bottom line is there's a list of VAMs. A list of VAMs, okay? So we have, whoa, horses. You know, the VAM 1, medium S, tilted S. You can put them all out there. I mean, there's a ton of them for the ADS. There's like 100 and some of them. 112. Okay, but my favorite two to look for, they're R3s. Okay, the VAM 11 is an R3. Okay, means it's a rarity of 3. It's moderately hard to find, but not really that hard. Okay, this is just some of the pictures. The first thing that you always want to look for on a VAM 11 is look in the 0. See that shading? Do you know why that's there? Do you know why? I do. And I'll tell you why. Because the dies from the 1879 were, like most Morgans, often reused. So, in the beginning, they had to attempt to they recarved the dies. And This is what's left of the 9 in its side as it came over. And a lot of them have that in there. And you'll find it real easy. Yes, of course. No, it's kind of ugly. You'll see some doubling on the S. Most of the time I just find this, and the S is there, but it's not always this bad when I look for it. Here's a great example. Now, when you see how that's set up there, just a hair there, it can look exactly like that. And the reverse, if I can find the reverse, there we go. Annex is great for attributing these. Of course, you can see the S and how funky the S is, right? They have tons of them. Tons and tons and tons of them. See, again, it's back to that. But this is one of my more favorite ones to find, and it's a fun one because if you look at it, it also falls into the Hot 50. See, the so-called 89 over 79S overdate. It is an overdate, yes. One of the Hot 50 die polishing marks are evident. Yes. That's what happens when they polish the dies, or they had to adjust it, so to speak, in layman's terms. And this is one of my more favorite ones to find. Now, this one, which is an R4, okay, you can literally still see what's left of the 7 and what's left of the 9 in the middle of the 0. No joke. You can see some of the carving that's left in there, a little of this left over there. I have an 80S today, but it is not this one. You can see that there are two different types of S's, a more clear S, which is slightly tilted, and one that's more flush. It appears more flush. And when I get down to here, you can see the 0 being there and left with that. These are the ones I like to find the most. All right. People think, and I'll show you an example here. Let me go down to the 87. Okay. And we'll get to that. Look at all these. This is just nuts. Seriously. I could spend all day looking at this and not find the one I'm looking for, or narrow it down to 4 or 5. Wow, it's always something. Anyway, let me get up here. So everybody's like, oh yeah, the A7S. Where's the alligator eye? It's a 12. 12 or 12A. So we'll look at the 12A here real quick. As it loads up. Let me close out the other couple windows. We're not talking just about how to do this. I'm not telling you how to do any of this. But the 12A is an R5, okay? And as you can see, it's always got that clash or that doubled eyelid. Looks like an alligator eye. And that's what you find. I found a lot of these in the last few years, and they're neat, but they're not super hard to find. Now, what you really like to find is a clashed wreath within that particular date. Now, the 12A, I think, the 12 and 12A, one of them was a little harder to find, it was a lot less, so let me bring that one up. I do believe I've had a lot of 12As, that's for sure. 12s were a lot harder, for sure. But you can see how Liberty sell that shop in the 12. And you can see here under the hair and the 12A clashed ST. Looks like an S and a bit of a T in there, right? The alligator eye itself. And this is a further view from where the clashing is. As it says, late die state has ST removed from additional clashing with plateau die plate crack. Of course, there's always the spike to the N and the wing, or see. Let me see if this comes up. Yeah, this is the one that's more common, the VAM 12, not the 12A. 12A is a little harder to find. And it has the same attributes. Now everybody thinks that the alligator eye is a big deal. It's not a super huge big deal. It just looks cool and it's easy to find because, of course, it's an R3. They're out there. And there are lots of them out there. Notice it's 1 to 3, but the whole scale goes to 1 to 7. So what you want is something at 5, 6, or 7. Not to say the 3s are bad, but you know, you can see a little doubling here. Okay. Below the date position, you see what it say here. Just gives you a good general idea of what the whole thing is. So as I was saying before I took the break or ran out of time, you can see date position and so on, doubling the eye. These are a couple of them. The easiest one that I have found out of everything in the world, and everybody seems to love this one. And let's go to the 1891 Carson City, of course. I believe it's a 91 Carson City. Should be, everybody knows about what, they all have a clue, an idea what this is. Okay? So we're just going to do the screen. It's going to pop me up here. It's not what I want, so whatever. It's recording something. Whatever. You get the idea. So it's just the screen. Yeah, 91 CC VAM 3. Everybody knows about the spitting eagle, right? Spitting eye. See, there's a Joe Biden gap. That's all, folks. Not really. This particular thing, spitting eagle, is very easy to find. You can look at the top of the the top of the 3 right there. See some dye polishing lines in there. But the biggest tip is right here. Right there. Looks like he spit a chunk of something out of his mouth. See, look. It is the most common dye used. It is actually hard to locate the coin that is not a VAM 3. Common varieties should not carry a price premium. See? But if you can find that anywhere in the coin, you're probably good. But people like these. Call them spitting eagles. They like them for a reason. I've seen that out there, that clash out there. I've seen it. It's been over here. It's been over here. Just a little bit everywhere. So that's pretty much it, guys, for all the time in the world that I have, put out. And next time we're going to talk about how to identify a VAM a little bit better. Okay? So, you got, what the hell? Oh, I thought it was something else. If you got any questions, comments, leave them below. Have a great day. Thanks for watching.